Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video we've got info on the 10x champions that are coming with the Summon Rush this weekend. At time of recording, I don't have access to the Fusion calendar yet, but that should be out very soon, so keep checking back on the channel. It literally, maybe the video on the Fusion calendar will be up before this one, because I've got an embargo on when I can share this information with you, right? So yeah, stay tuned. But what we have with this 10x event this weekend, presuming that if you're going for the Fusion, you're going to need to pull for this 10x. Well, we have some exceptional champions here, and it's really setting us up for, well, the Hydra clash. No shock here. Some of these are pretty cheeky, let me put it like that. So first of all, we've got from Ancient and Sacred Shards, from the Epics, we have Geomancer coming in. This is massive. Geomancer is top tier for Hydra, top tier, of course, for Iron Twins, and so many Doom Tower bosses. So this is pretty exciting. Yeah, look, if you're going for the Fusion and you don't have a Geomancer and you pull him, it's going to make your day. He's honestly probably going to be more useful for you in more areas than the Fusion will be. So Geomancer, he is just nuts, right? Reflecting damage with HP burn and then doing max HP damage with it. Yeah, he's amazing, and yeah, top tier for Hydra and very easy to build for Hydra as well. Well, the two other epics coming alongside, you can probably guess. Royal Guard is the first one, the AoE enemy max HP slam on a 4-turn, and then 4 hits at random, each having a chance to put decreased speed and pushback turn meter. Royal Guard is super useful. He's incredibly good for Dark Fae, which is the most important Doom Tower boss to farm. He's also insane for obviously any level 20 dungeons. He's insane with the AoE max HP slam for hard spider even, because he can kill the spiderlings. And obviously for Hydra, bringing decreased defense sometimes, decreased speed sometimes, the AoE damage. He is really, really good. And his compatriot, Husk, is going to be in this as well, and I'm in the wrong faction. It gets me every time. He looks like a demon, okay? Does he look undead, or does he look like a demon? He looks like a freaking demon. But Husk, he also has that AoE max HP slam on a 4-turn. His one can stun, and he's got a provoke on his A1, which is really nice for Hydra to give you that provoke, start locking down Head of Decay. His A3 you usually turn off. It's just not that good. He's kind of weird. He's a HP based champion, but his A1 scales off of attack. It doesn't do any damage really, but it does provoke. Husk is obviously great for Hydra, and also really good for Magma Dragon because of that A1 provoke and the max HP damage. He's actually really good for killing Magma Dragon quickly on full auto. Not that that's that hard, but at least it's good to know that he's good for it. Then the Void epic that's going to be in it, you could probably guess this one as well. It's Inquisitor Shamael. These are all of like the best Hydra champs in the game. It's nuts. Shamael is fantastic. This is Summon Rush, so you might be pulling some Void shards. If you don't have a Shamael, I highly recommend getting him. You might easily end up running an Inquisitor Shamael in every single Hydra team as part of Hydra Clash because of this passive that turns the Head of Torment from one of the most RNG, the most random and frustrating heads, into a head that's actually fantastic. That's just boosting you up and making you stronger. It is amazing. He also smacks really hard if you build him for damage. He can really help with Doom Tower waves. So like the Sifi Rotus wave, he can delete Sifi, no problem. And obviously he can delete Rotus, no problem with this triple hit. You can build it to ignore 100% defense. He'll delete everything. Like pretty much the strongest single target damage dealer in the game for Doom Tower waves, pretty much, right? There you go. They're the epics. Really nice selection of epics. You want all of these. In fact, you probably want multiple copies of all of these champions. So it's a pretty big win for a Summon Rush during a Fusion. Let's look at the Legendaries now. So you're obviously much less likely to get these, but hey, you never know. First up, we have... yeah, this guy's actually really good still. Walking Tomb Drawing, he comes in. Really underrated Hydra champ. AoE burn that cannot be resisted for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Brilliant for hard spider. Brilliant for, well, any spider boss that is not that's not magic affinity. Brilliant against it. Brilliant against the ice spider even in Doom Tower, which has crazy resistance. He just burns it anyway. He's pretty decent even for Sand Devil if you're stuck. Slow, but he can make it work. And yeah, great for Hydra. He can also equalize HP with your allies. he's super tanky, so it's probably going to heal your whole team up to full, and that bypasses heal reduction, which is great. And his A1 can activate burns as well. Brilliant champ. He does have a passive that we never really think about all that much, and he's got a nice aura. But yeah, he's a super good Hydra champ. A lot of people are probably using a Tomb Drang, and he can double up in multiple areas. So I really, really like Drang. We also have a champion I don't have and would love to get Mashald. He's going to be an all-star for those lower Hydra difficulties, which are unfortunately looking to be the more lucrative ones for the Hydra Clash. Unless they change the multipliers, I do suspect maybe even normal and hard are going to be where people are going to get their most points because you can just do such ridiculous damage. But he comes in with increased speed, crit damage, and an AoE leech for your whole team with an extra turn. With that extra turn and a 3-turn cooldown, he just basically permanently keeps increased speed and crit damage and leech out the whole time. Then his A1 just hits really hard. Very simple, very straightforward. He hits really hard, and that's kind of it. He can also steal all buffs. This is a bit dangerous because it gives him 2 continuous heals for 3 turns. That can be pretty risky because Head of Mischief can target him. But you can do some big damage to a decapitated head with this if Mischief isn't there. Usually you're just going to be spamming that A1. He'd be all right for Doom Tower waves, all right for some early game arena as well, but that's about it. Yeah, that's usually about it. But he's a brilliant champion for Hydra, does a lot of damage. But this would be kind of the all-star right now, the best champion. We're going to the Dwarf faction. You can probably guess who they are. You can probably guess. The best champion as it stands right now for Hydra Clash is actually going to be Trunda. Why? Because of her A2. Attack one enemy, then attack all enemies with the second hit, doing 60% of the damage. Well, what happens is you hit a decapitated head in Hydra, right? And it gets massively damage boost because, you know, decapitated heads take way more damage. So that all gets multiplied up. It then takes 60% of that damage, and then it applies that damage boost again, plus I think her crit damage multiplier, her buck multipliers, all of that stuff. And it just does nutty damage. If it hits other decapitated heads, it's just crazy. This will basically, like on hard, you hit a decapitated head, you'll basically one-shot every other head from full health. It's just so insane. It's so broken. And who knows what they're going to do. But as it stands right now for Hydra Clash, this champion is like the champion because it's really easy to do as well. But yeah, you get Trunda's in there with like a Lydia, an Arbiter, maybe some reset champions because she does have really long cooldowns. And you just have her go in and hit a decapitated head with her A2 and watch the fireworks happen. And yeah, there's not going to be any way to compete with that as it stands. Maybe they'll change something. I don't know. But they've never changed her before. For years. It's been a known bug for years. And they've never changed it. Never. I remember Hell Hades had a time where he was calling for her to be nerfed and people went absolutely mental, which was, I don't know, it was really weird because it's so blatantly bugged. And this was before Hydra. This was just in Arena where this was ridiculous. But yeah, Trunda is insane. She's insane. So actually the best champion for Hydra Clash. And then the second best champion for Hydra Clash, because unfortunately Brutal and Nightmare are not going to be quite as good for points and it's easy to do as just using Trunda for normal or hard. But Acrisia from Void Shards, I mean, look, I do expect they'll do something about the normal and hard stuff. And at that point, you know, you would expect that Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare Hydra, if that ever comes, right, that the highest difficulty would be the most important for Hydra Clash. You expect that to be the case. It's not the case, but you would expect it to be. So presumably they will fix it. When that happens, obviously Acrisia is and likely will forever be the #1 damage dealer for Nightmare Hydra, right? Her passive helps her stay alive, but then she's the AoE double hitter that can do max HP, double hit a 3 single target max HP. Even her A1 does enemy max HP damage. She's all about the enemy max HP. She's easy to keep alive as well. She just rips it apart. She does more damage than any other champion possibly can on Nightmare Hydra. There's been a bit of power creep, certainly, in the last year. Certainly for Nightmare Hydra, or just Hydra in general, where we have a lot more really strong champs. Like Noose came in, he's really strong. Michinaki is great. Grazor is really good. You know, there's a lot more options now, but Acrisia still stands as the #1. And there you go. That is the 10x event, which is coming It's insane, honestly. I think this is a really, really good 10x event. The Hydra Clash is going to be content you're going to want to go probably hard on, right? A lot of clans might start putting in requirements for that. Should you go crazy pulling for this 10x event? No, it's just a 10x event, right? That's all it is. It's a 10x event. You're still really unlikely to get these champions. But the point is, it's a fusion. There's a good chance you're going to be doing this summon rush anyway. If you do get any of those champions, even the epics, they're honestly really good. That's the main thing for me. You've got a bunch of brilliant epics in there. People are likely to be pulling shards. And if you get them, that could be really helpful, massively helpful in progression in multiple areas of the game. And certainly the legendaries, likewise, even better. So yeah, honestly, one of the best Fusion 10x events we've had. Although it's still a 10x. Oh man, the relentless 10x onslaught continues, but at least this one is actually pretty all right. Guys, thanks for watching. I will catch you all very soon for probably more news. Goodbye.